everyone, and welcome to This Week at Shrouded, episode 61. I'm your host this evening, AGreener, and we have I don't know what word I was going to use there. Two guests with us today.
Are you about to call us luxurious?
I was, and then I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Anyway, Mr. Rack and Dave, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Let me give you a luxurious, I'm happy to be here, Greener.
Woo!
Thanks for having me once again, guys. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for stepping out and swinging by. Appreciate it. A little bit extra voice on the cast is never a bad thing. So we're gonna start right in to the first, I guess we'll announce the winners of our weekly silver draws. Big shout out and congratulations to Bombastic88 and Joe Juggernaut51. Congratulations, you've won some silver. Please reach out to me in Discord, AGreener. If you're not in our Discord and you've won silver at some point, I know these two people are, but if you come back and watch the show and try to win some silver, then you need to reach out to me in Discord. The easiest way to do that is to join our big Destiny community at shroudedgaming.com/discord. Once again, shroudedgaming.com/discord. We'll pop you right into our server, and I'm the one right on the top of the names list. You can quickly reach out to me to get your rewards. Now, we're going to get right into this Destiny talk. We all know why you're here, and that's the reason. Probably, maybe. No, it's probably for Rex Rants, but it's all good. Let's do it. This week, we had the launch of the 10 Delta Pantheon Oryx Exalted, and it was a lot of fun. We talked in the pre-show about how everyone has tried it and done it here. I did a bunch of carries on Wednesday, had a lot of fun in there. How has your experiences been in the Pantheon?
I did one run with my squad on Wednesday night. Okay. No big deal. We barely cleared A-Tracks because of the score for Platinum, but we made sure that we killed everything in the first go-round, and it worked out. We came in at about 10k above the Platinum score, which is fine for us for now.
Wait, there's a score limit? I just always thought it was a time.
Yeah. A lot of teams this week, if they went straight in and just tried to insta-nuke the boss without killing all the stuff downstairs, they got the Platinum time, but they didn't hit the Platinum score, so they didn't get the Platinum clear. The Platinum time gives you a bunch of extra points, you see. It's a medal. It's a big medal that gives you a bunch of extra points. What you're actually fighting for is not the time, it's the score. So yeah.
We won phase and got the Platinum clear. So,
well, when week 4 rolls around, I can almost guarantee you that they're not going to change Riven much in terms of mechanics, but they are going to set the Platinum score high enough that an insta melt on her will not get you the Platinum dub. You are going to have to do the mechanics. Almost 99% sure you're going to either have to play Riven legit, or you're going to have to split your group into Behemoth Titans in both rooms, so you can try to nuke her that way. You won't get the score otherwise if you don't kill.
I don't see people beating that damage check though. Like even on -20, no, I don't see them.
I mean, on -20, if you did 5 behemoths and 1 warlock, you absolutely could bake her if they were all in one room. But you're not going to get the Platinum score. Like, there's no shot if people were missing out on A-Tracks this week.
Yeah, I just think it's worth it just to learn legit Riven. Like, that's just my opinion on it. It's not it's a wall of text to explain, obviously, but I think it's not a very hard encounter to learn. Personally, if you know Last Wish, Riven legit won't be difficult to learn.
I think that particular encounter is going to be what prevents a lot of people from completing Godslayer in time. So, we'll see. But people are going to go in there trying to bake her, and they're going to do it. And they're going to be like, we got the Platinum time, but then they're going to miss the Platinum score probably by a lot. So.
Boring.
Yeah.
I just want to bake her and get it through.
Well, then you won't get your Godslayer title. It's mine.
I didn't plan on getting it to be anyway.
Why complete the last week if you're not going to get the title?
I am not confident I can complete the last week.
You can complete the last week.
Contest mode?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't
know
know.
All the mechanics for the encounters. Half the reason people fail contest mode raids is because they can't ever figure out the mechanics right or what the optimal strategies are. Everybody knows the mechanics for these raids. Nothing that they've instituted has been wholly new mechanics for any of the encounters so far. So you already know all of it. You're going to be with a group of people that already know all of it. It's just a matter of executing. That's it. You'll be fine.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, back to Ted Delta. Yeah, I didn't find it that difficult. I don't really know about the platinum score thing. We got it, so that's all that mattered to me, I suppose. I mean, I assume I got it. I mean, I got the adept weapon, so...
Then you got it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Then I'm good. All right, I'm happy.
Yeah. The extra adept weapon's tied to the triumph for that particular one.
Okay, cool. We'll talk a little bit about the changes in Oryx. Not a lot. If you haven't been in there and you don't want to know, I mean, spoiler alert, get out of the chat, I guess.
Yeah,
Stop listening. Yeah, so it was a little bit interesting. Nothing too crazy. The respawnable bomb-eating knights, whatever you want to call them. I forget their names, but they're the ones that eat the bombs. They keep coming like the whole time. So you gotta make sure that you're on top of killing them, or they eat your bombs. You get a juicy tormentor during damage phase, which you can absolutely ignore. And if you get Thunderdome, there's 2 shades inside there. If you get the other one, which is a pain in the ass, you can't just run out the time. You actually have to kill the knights. Instead of in the original, you could just run out the time by running around a big circle.
Who actually ran out the time doing it when that comes up in the regular raid?
I don't know. I feel like we did during week 1, probably. If that popped up, we probably just ran around screaming the whole time.
It's so much faster to just kill the knights.
Yeah, just instigate the knight.
Oh, I agree.
Call it a day.
I agree, but I don't know. We're probably nervous. I don't remember. It's probably scared of everything. Didn't want to die. You know how it'd be. Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, those are the differences, the changes. It doesn't make it much more difficult. It can still be one phased with Whisper. Can't confirm. We one phased it on our last run on Wednesday night. Videos on YouTube. Go check it out. But yeah, if you just trigger Shot Caller with a well and box breathing, boom, 100k a shot, all 6 people. Bam, 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 smash, smash, smash. One phase that. We one phased it, and then we went to do Final Stand, and fucking Reaper accidentally shot the Tormentor's shoulder. So he freaked out and ripped Reaper in half and threw him on the ground. As we were doing the final, it was pretty funny. We still were able to do it, no problem, obviously. But it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. How was your Oryx experience? I guess did you find it at least a little bit challenging, or?
I mean, long story short, I did it with Souls, so
Probably not.
Not really. No.
I thought he was gonna go the other way.
It was actually kind of funny. We got the mortars on our tribe when we went in, and it was actually kind of a close call. Everybody but Love Train died, and we had a chain res. Love Train kind of clutched it at the end, but yeah, we got everybody back up and we just cleared it. It was just kind of like, oh, it doesn't end, like. And Reaper didn't realize it at the time. We were just like all kind of dead, and Love Train's like, it's not ending. And he went and killed the last night, and it just ended, and we chain resed and killed Oryx.
Did you guys do it on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I was gonna say he knew on Wednesday. He made it very clear because he was like, "You have to kill the knights." So
So Reaper does it with his day one team, like right at reset.
Yeah.
And then he just comes into chat and we like get a group of Souls people together and do it for everybody who wants to do it. So
That's cool.
So yeah, so just before I went to work, I hopped in there and we cleared it.
Yeah, it was good. I'm a little bit excited for next week. I think minus 15 delta is going. I guess it's plus 15 delta. Everybody keeps saying minus, but you guys get the idea. Anyway, okay, newbie, thanks for swinging by. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Oh no, don't flame me.
AGreener.
Damn it! I'll never get through one podcast without reading something. I said he was saying goodbye. I wanted to say goodbye to him. Anyway, I think 15 Delta is going to be a little bit more challenging, I guess, depending on the new whatever the new damage perk is this week. If they're giving us multiple different ones, how easy it is to proc, and what kind of burn we have, or not burn, but that other thing. Surge, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
What the surge is. Reaper seems pretty confident that it goes in a specific order. What did he say? Something will be next week, and then Solar again on week 4.
I personally would not be surprised if it's either Arc or Void. Like,
so Void again. Yeah.
I'm hoping it's Void because the lack of decent arc heavy weapons is kind of low.
We could bust out all our old what's that rocket launcher? That was the GM launcher.
Hotheads.
Yeah, bust out all our old hotheads.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Thunderlord DPS.
Fuck
Smile.
No, God. Oh God.
Unless for some reason like the damage buff is somehow associated to like a target lock type situation, then there is no reason to to use Thunderlords. But if they do it that way, that might actually be fun. If they're just like, yeah, you got to hit 10 shots in rapid succession, and then you unlock a 20% damage buff. Yeah, I'd pull that bad boy out. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, that would be good.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do that. That's too similar. Like shot caller is basically the same thing, just less shots. So, I feel like they'd make it a little more interesting, unless they just go the route of they only created 2 and we get the class thing again next week.
Class warfare again.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they probably would have gone with 4.
It would make sense.
Yeah,
they put a lot of thought into Pantheon, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's 4.
It does seem like they've put definitely more thought into this than I was anticipating. It's not crazy or anything. Like, I used to love Prestige Leviathan because of the extra mechanics. I know they weren't much, but they were something. And when I did Golgoroth the first time on week 1, and there was two explosions, I was like, oh my god! It felt the most like Prestige that we've gotten since Leviathan, because it's the only time they ever changed the mechanics in the raids again since year 1. Even just the first half of year 1, because when they started doing Prestige Eater and Spire, there was just like burns and shit. There was no new mechanics. I actually forget exactly what they would do. It was more damage on certain things, so burns, yeah. I wonder if there was anything else. I can't remember.
Didn't you like have to run certain weapons, like certain weapon types?
I wonder. Maybe that was it.
I mean, like I played very little in those days, and
I just don't remember. I did do a lot of Prestige, Spire, and Eater. I think I probably just did 1 each, and then was like, oh, got the Triumph. Yeah. I'm good. But I used to love Prestige Leviathan. That was such a good raid. Anyway. And then they just stopped doing that completely. And then they decided to just start doing Master shit. Which, don't get me wrong, Master's okay, but I mean, I prefer Prestige stuff. Which is what Leviathan feels like, at least a little bit. I know the mechanics aren't that much different, but it's a nice little change, slight change to certain mechanics. And we were trying to debate last week what they're going to do with Rolk.
I am actually excited for Rolk to see what they bring out.
And to be honest, there was two things that they said. Like, they could go real lazy and just drop a Tormentor up there with Rolk. And then we're like, oh yeah, that's probably actually what they'll do. And then somebody else was like, an 8-star darkness instead of the cross. Like an 8-point, like, I forget what that ability is.
Oh, he's like, yeah, I don't know what it's called, but the laser beam.
Yeah. But eight of them instead of 4. And I was like, oh no, I always get hit by the 4.
Dude, I get hit by it when it's 4. Yeah.
You'll be fucked. Anyway, so we'll see next week, but it should be fun. All right, TLDR. I'm having a lot of fun in Pantheon, a lot more fun than I've had in Destiny probably in a long time. I think it's really good. It's sad that we only get it until the final shape, but hopefully there's a lot of people playing it, and hopefully Bungie realizes that and decides to put something similar into the game as a permanent measure. That would be nice.
I was under the impression that this was a test run for something like this.
Well, they did kind of mention that on one of the twiz or in a tweet or something, that they were going to see how it goes, and then they might implement something in the future. But I can guarantee you that if a lot of people aren't doing this, they're not going to bother. So that's why I'm saying I'm hoping that a lot of people are playing this and they're enjoying it and doing multiple clears and having fun. So Bungie sees that and goes, this is going to be worth it to add. But I totally understand them. If like 5% of the player base is the only ones playing it, why would they bother putting any time and effort into that, right?
Yeah. Which would kind of be unfortunate because, like, I was talking to a couple people, like, this is something geared towards people who have reached the end game, like, already, you know? This is geared to people who are kind of, like, on the point of where they're running out of stuff to do, you know? Yeah.
No, I agree.
Let me ask you, for those people, even if this stuck around and they never updated it, how long would it actually last? Is something interesting though.
That's true.
That's the thing. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but this is something you can update. Like, you know, you can add more bosses to this later on. I think. But then you do reach that point where it's like you ran out of bosses. You know, it's like we ran out of, like, okay, yeah, we added like Morgith now, but like Morgith actually has a decent damage check now. Like same with like the other like Last Wish bosses, where I think because most of my experience with Last Wish is just like you get to damage phase and they just fold, like, you know. Yeah. But it would be kind of interesting to have to like go through the whole mechanic of Kali like again, or like do the mechanic of Morgith again, like, you know, actually have like a decent damage check. But I mean, seeing that like there's other bosses they could add, like there's Atrax, there's like on top of that you could add Taniks now. Like it's I think that there is some potential to it in the future. So
there is something potential to it in the future, and also at the same time, like, you don't have to, like, Destiny right now is a little focused on this and Onslaught, whereas if they were just like adding little updates through the seasons, like, it wouldn't be the complete focus of all the player base. So it could just be small little updates and like have what's the title called again? I forget. Godslayer? Have that guildable. And that's it. You have to redo all the platinums. That's enough to get people to do certain activities. Like, I do Deadeye every season. It's not fun, but I do it anyway just to get that gilded number. So like, even if they left Pantheon as is and said, here, you can guild Godslayer, I think, and left it in the game, I would still play that at least, you know, 4 times every season. And but if they added bosses each season, and that would be even better. But I don't want to get too greedy when it comes to Bungie. So
So Greener, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you go guild your Crucible seal every year?
I don't guild the Crucible one just because I suck and I can't get Legend, or not Legend, but Platinum or whatever it is.
So, more people play PvP than Raid in Destiny 2. So Bungie continually doing updates to that seems like a stretch to me. The only difference is that raids are paid content and PvP is not. So that's the only thing it's got going for it. It has fewer players that are involved in it, as the number of players that haven't ever stepped foot in a raid is shockingly high in this game. Anybody who does a lot of raiding just would not. It does not even register that like 95% of players haven't even finished a raid. That seems like crazy town, you know. So I don't know. I don't personally have a lot of high hopes for this becoming a regular playlist, but maybe Bungie has done stranger things.
But consider this at the same time. If you put this out there like Pantheon, I've already seen like a lot of people like they want to do raids just to learn the Pantheon encounters, like, you know. And like if you kept that in there, if you kept this in there and like did the same thing AGreener did, I think that's gonna cause people to gravitate towards raiding more. It's like, oh, there's this cool title for like actually raiding, like, you know, that you can get. It's like, maybe I should go in and try and learn these encounters, like, you know.
Yeah,
and
I could see that as pushing newer people towards it, and you know, just and update. I forgot totally, but like update the Herald or Adept shit at each season, so it gives people the opportunity to grab that stuff without going through master raids too. But then you know the what are those people called? The gatekeepers are going to be mad. So,
but like consider this: you can every season, or like you can just shuffle the order. So like, for example, instead of having like Explicator beat, or like having what is it first, Golgoroth first, you could put like Rolk first, or Oryx second, or something like that. You can change the order up of the Pantheon, and it's like then you get to that whole point where it's like you got a -20 Atrax now, and it's like, you know, which like you would end up encountering -20 Atrax, but it's like people who are scared to go into like Rolk at -15, like the next season could go into Rolk at -5, like, you know. There's something to be said about that. Just simply changing the order.
Changing the order. That's true.
But I mean, it gets people into raiding. I mean, as part of the Sherpa team, like, we're not Sherping Pantheon specifically, but it's like, go learn the raids, like the raids, like Root of Nightmares is one of the, like, I play that raid all the time, and I think it's a very fun beginner friendly raid. Yeah. And it's like, it's part of the Pantheon group. It's like you get to see Explicator and like the third encounter. Then like if you really want to go into -20, you get to see Nezarec, like, you know.
I understand you're passionate about this, and you would like to see this continue and be something for players that have reached the end game to continue to do. Let me mute my phone. But as somebody who likes the whole game, I like all of it, even PvP, even though right now I'm not terribly into it, I still like it. What I have observed is Bungie does not insert anything in the game that isn't going to directly turn into player retention or more sales or money, right? And if there's not a ton of people playing it or stepping into it as a percentage of the active player base, then I don't see them sending any major resources towards it, or even minor resources. Like, they always say that PvP is a pillar of the game. It is a core part of the game. How long did we go without any PvP updates? I understand PvP is a different beast than this PvE activity, and maybe more people would be willing to try it because people don't like PvP because they don't like getting shit on by other human beings, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that are going to come and try Pantheon are going to want to be carried, and when that can't happen at a certain point, they're going to just write it off, those people. Yeah. Like, just wait until next week when Pantheon drops. That is when the real complaints on the forums and on Reddit and on Twitter are really going to start, because that's when people are going to fall off. People that manage to do like there was somebody on the server, and listen, I'm not calling anybody out, I'm not shitting on anybody, and I'm not naming any names, but I did notice that there was a group that was doing a Pantheon on the server for like 8 hours. All right, doing a level 2. That group is probably going to have a seriously hard time with the next level if they had a problem addressing whatever their problems were, right? And there is a dramatic difference between -10 and -15, not to mention -20.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want it to continue. I want it to be updated. I think it's good for there to be in-game activities that are kind of like more like a playlist that get updated and rotate in a way that's not bullshit like raid rotators. I just don't have a lot of faith in Bungie to do it, to follow through.
Yeah. I definitely don't have necessarily a lot of faith in Bungie to do that. I want them to do it as well. I think it'd be great. I think we could, base an event around Pantheon, much like the div one we did. Get like 20 carries in a month or some shit. Not -20, obviously, but just anyway, the details aside, I think we could, we could plan an event, like a full-on event around that, as well. So that's a community focus, maybe not necessarily Destiny. So that'd be good for us. And I don't know. I like it. I personally like it. I think it's good for low-end raiders as well. You can fire. I have so many fucking spoils now. I've never been full-on spoils in years, because I don't raid that much. But I've got spoils coming out my ass in my inventory and my characters in my mailbox. Like, I can go in there and I can just roll harrowed fucking
Zali's Bane.
Zoali's Bane to get myself my explosive not Firefly, but incandescent. Yeah, which I got, by the way. Boom. On my second or third roll. So I was like, oh wait, what do I spend these spoils on now? So every time I did a run, I just bought a weapon because I was full. So I was just buying, I think I was trying for the machine gun, killing tally, shit. I don't know. But I think
-15 is going to add Val weapons to Adept Val weapons, probably, that you can pick up.
No.
So.
Oh, I mean.
Yeah. I mean.
I don't know what I would do in an Adept Val weapon. The only Val weapon.
An Adept Forbearance.
Adept Forbearance.
Yeah.
Adept Cataclysm.
Are they an Adept Cataclysm, actually. But are those going to be upgradable next in the final shape? I know. Are they all going to be? Yeah, because I know they're doing some of them, right?
A couple people on the server have told me yes, but I wasn't able to find any. I wasn't able to find where that was said one way or the other.
Well, somebody said that to me about Zoalis, or however it's pronounced, and I was like, oh, cool, that'll be great. I'll upgrade it and it'll actually be better than my crafted one. Because right now it's not. My crafted one is still better, even though I have the exact same roll. Once I can upgrade it, then perfect, awesome. I get to use my Adept weapon or my Adept mod. It makes it this much better than the the crafted one, and I'm super happy about that. But that's with Forbearance, right? Sure, I could try and get a God roll, random Forbearance Adept. Great, absolutely. But if it's not upgradable in 3 weeks, what the fuck's the point?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do it. And Cataclysm too, that's a good one, actually. Like, I'm sure solar linears are going to be strong again at some point, so ain't nothing wrong with upgrading that if it can be, upgraded.
Well, then it's just going to get egoed by the week after, where you can just get a Adept Prior's Contempt that you can craft, that you can enhance.
That's true.
Yeah,
actually, you're not wrong.
I actually I got one this last week.
Oh, nice.
With Rewind and Focus Fury. Bada bing, it replaced the one I already had that was Rewind and Focus Fury.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's a good point. That we know we can upgrade the Ron weapons. So, but I'll probably still go for it anyway because there's going to be stuff I'm going to be looking to buy when I get to the end of that. Because once again, I'm full as fuck on spoils, and they're only 25 each. It's so free.
What are you going to use them on?
Like, actually, I think that's actually a little bit too cheap. To be honest, when Reaper told me about that, when we were going into it, I'm like, what? 25 spoils gets you an Adept weapon?
That's because you have to finish a boss encounter on Master typically to get in there. So there's effort that's required, unless you're talking about Crota, and then you just go and solo eat them in free chest.
Yeah. But it goes back. Yeah, it's like, don't you have to complete the challenge too on the encounter to get the adept weapon?
Yes.
Too.
On Master.
Yeah, on Master. Yeah. So.
Well, I don't think you can roll them if you didn't get it, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you do clear Master and you don't do any of the challenges, you can't roll any of them at the end of the raid. But I think in Pantheon you can.
You can.
Oh, that's what I mean at Pantheon. I've heard that if it's not in your collections, you can't roll for them.
That's correct.
Yes.
Even in Pantheon.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
All right.
Wait, no. Oh yeah, that's right.
You have to have done it at some point and got the weapon, and then you can roll.
You have to have the weapon, the adept in your collections in order to roll on it at the chest.
True,
which is I'll be good for Ron and VOTD, but I never did it. I never did any Crota Master stuff. I've only done that raid 4 times. I wasn't a huge fan.
It's my opinion. It's an raid.
I guess Crota's not in this, so it doesn't matter. No. We wouldn't have been able to get in there anyway.
They wouldn't put Crota in Pantheon. People would just yeet him off the edge.
Well, it didn't have to be Crota. We could have done Ear Root or whatever the fuck her name is.
Ear
Yeah.
Ear That would be kind of a obnoxious Pantheon.
Would it? Only for score. I mean,
Yeah.
even at -20, the full hunters with Star Eaters still cooks her. She's still dead in one phase.
Yeah.
Even my janky Raiden ass could pull that off, and did pull it off once. So
Anyway, so TLDR. I do think we spent enough time on Pantheon, so I mean, yes, TLDR. Hopefully they come up with something new for us to do after the final shape, Pantheon-ish style related, because I think this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to continue playing it at least for the next 2 weeks, and maybe even longer. Keep doing carries as long as we're able to. I'm doubtful for -20, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe we're better than I think we are. And we're gonna use Pantheon to practice for day 1, which I think is also a great opportunity to do that. See if your teams mesh well, if you play good together. So having a Pantheon -20 modifier before any day 1 raid, I think is something that people appreciate a lot. I know I'm going to. So. All right. Let's move on to the TWID, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, they dropped some Prismatic, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan developer playtest previews. You can go watch those videos. They look fine. I don't really care too much about watching stuff like that. I want to get my hands on it and play. I can't feel any of that stuff they're doing. It's like, oh yeah, look, cool, you hit Q. Like, I get it, but I want to do it. And then we'll judge that. I saw on Twitter some people complaining about how stupid they all sound when they're doing the gameplay. They're like, can we just stop with this fake ass cheese developer commentary? Nobody plays games like that. And I'm like,
The Bungie community's greatest skill is shitting on anything and everything they see everywhere, because they're all a bunch of fucking depresso fucking losers. Fucking go see your doctor and get an antidepressant, because the entire fucking community needs one.
I have to use the washroom. Keep talking.
Can I give my take on Prismatic?
Yes, absolutely.
I think, and this is just me, I think it's mid on every class except Hunter. And I'm saying this just because of the biggest reason I say that is because Hunter with combination blow and grapple melee now has a feasible grapple melee like cycle where
Yeah.
like with Titan you had Syntheseps and Worm Gods. You could use Winter's Guile with a Hunter, but now like when you're combining all of this prismatic stuff, along with the fact that with the class item combinations, now just make I think Hunter just like its prismatic is just ridiculous. I think, and that's just my like kind of quick take on it. Especially with loadouts and stuff like that, where it has Marksman Golden Gun, where you can literally just use the grapple melee portion of a Hunter. You can loadout swap to Celestial, use your Celestial, loadout swap back to the class item, and continue your grapple melee sequence. Which I don't know, seems a little crazy to me.
Well, I mean, for the highest level players, sure, but the vast majority of players aren't doing loadout swaps to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I know I'm not. If I go into an encounter and I'm going to be on a Thunder Crash Titan, I'm wearing Cuirass the whole time. I'm not swapping out. It's not happening.
True, that's fair.
So, I think what you're pointing out will be very good and will be fun for the players that choose to use it. But I think it's fine because I don't think it's going to be widely used. I think it'll just be a cherry on top for the people that do it. But I do agree that Hunter seems like it's going to be the strongest prismatic class in terms of ability synergy and interesting combinations.
It's about time. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
You know what I find weird?
What?
People that identify too closely with one fucking class. I think it's really, really strange. I will admit that I have more hours on my Titan than any of my other characters, but I've got 1,000 hours plus on every single one of them. And the class I play for a season is wholly dependent on what the changes to the artifact were that season and how it interacts with my abilities. Like this season, it's been mostly Hunter and Titan. Last season, it was Warlock basically the whole time. The season before that, it was Titan. People saying this class sucks or that class is better or this class, Bungie hates this class or Bungie loves that class. That's fucking stupid.
I never said that. I just last couple dungeons have been really hard for me to solo flawless with Hunter. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at the game, but it's like
a lot of fun.
It's like super easy to do it on Titan. Like it's so fucking easy.
I've had a lot of fun trying to do a solo flawless on Hunter for Warlords. It's been difficult, but it's been fun. Like I've actually had genuine fun attempting the solo flawless on Hunter for Warlords.
I never have fun playing Destiny, so good for you.
Fucking runs a 12,000 player Destiny community, hates Destiny.
Exactly.
I hate it so fucking much. No, I'm kidding. I play. I actually, it's ironic that you mentioned that, because the first 2 years, like I barely played this game. Like I didn't get into the game until like really into the game where I started doing like solo flawless dungeons and just enjoying the self doing the seasonal content. Like I don't even remember what happened in most of the fucking seasonal shit. And my mind, like I was such a casual back when I started the SGC that like when Warmind came out, for example, like Warmind, and I did the main like the story mission that took like an hour and a half, I was so dumbfounded that there was nothing else. But as a Destiny, I guess, veteran now, like I understand there was all that stuff on Mars, with all the weapons and the masterworking of Telesto and there was a bunch more content in the game was my point. I may have mixed the two, the Osiris and Warmind. Yeah. You get the point. They're different ones. Like both of them were exactly the same to me as somebody that like I was super casual back then. Other than the fact that I did do Leviathan a bunch, which was weird, but I didn't do any of the other end of story, end of mission, weekly playing the game like content that was actually there, and I was like super annoyed at Destiny for a long time. And then I started playing it more and understanding the concept and what you could do in later stages of the game. You know, grinding for this, grinding for that, doing this thing, doing that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of later stages of the game, you know, you get your exotic class items from an activity at the end of the game.
Specifically
Right there in the
at the
twid.
very end of the game. So,
Yeah.
he's trying to push us along because he's got a heart out. I see what's going on here. But, yes, they announced it. It's official right here. You cannot... Okay, so they did this specifically, first off, so we would not have to worry about our rolls for the day one raid. Okay? So, class exotics, the new class exotics that's coming, will not unlock until somebody completes the raid. And then a new activity unlocks, and then we can go farm for our juicy Hunter exotic cloak, our Titan exotic mark, or our Warlock exotic band. And the Twid dropped a couple different...
Drop the whole list.
Yeah, they dropped the whole list. Actually, let me rephrase. It says the new activity unlocks after the first raid. Sorry, after the raid world first at the beginning of week 2. So it sounds like even after it's completed, they're not.
It'll be on Tuesday.
It doesn't release right away. It releases on Tuesday. So it'll still give people the 48 hours, which I assume. Did they actually officially say that it's 48 hours again? Anywhere? The day one?
I'm assuming, but they haven't. I don't think they've actually specifically said it.
Okay, well, either way, you won't have to worry about leaving the day one to try to get stronger if you're having trouble, because it won't unlock until the following Tuesday. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we could unpack here with all the columns and all the things that you could unlock and all that stuff. Essentially, there's a first column of exotic abilities and a second column, and they can all be mixed and matched. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun. Like there's a lot of good mixtures in here.
I got one thing I need to unpack, Greener.
Okay, you
or
go
rather,
right ahead.
I got one thing that people need to unpack, and that's their fucking vaults. Because if somebody is a real Destiny hoarder and they have a need to get all of the exotic class items with all of the combinations, that is 162 vault space you need to commit just to exotic class items. So clean your shit, fucking hoarders.
What if they introduce in Final Shape exactly 162 more slots for vault space?
Well, they're
we're
giving us
100.
100. They confirmed that already.
100,
That would be
We're
funny.
tacking
though.
on another 62, boys.
Just for no reason, you know.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny, Rect? Do you remember
Yeah.
we cleaned out my vault not long ago during the charity stream?
Yeah.
It's full again.
Well, is it full of brave weapons?
No, actually, it is full of. I used all my engrams to get seasonal armor, and I haven't gone through them yet. So, I do though, and I just put them all in my vault. So I got like 200 new pieces of armor just sitting in there for me to figure out. Does it have enough stats in these 3 categories? Because I do actually have.
You got a hot date with Armor Picker.
Yeah, well, no, I do it myself. I do it with a calculator, and I need to get 60 points unmasterworked, unmodded in mobility, resilience, recovery, and discipline. 60 points in those 4. If it's anything under that, I delete it.
You can put a query into DIM to automatically identify those pieces for you. You don't have to even do use a calculator.
Well, it takes like 2 seconds, but I mean, sure, yeah, okay, I'll take a look at them. But I don't mind doing it. I find it fun, but if I can do it faster, I suppose I'll do it that way. So you can say that, add these 2, and tell me if they're 60.
You can put
points?
a string into DIM that will total up the stats from those particular sections. And it'll show you all the ones that are 60, and then you can then mark all the ones that aren't 60 and get rid of them if that's what you're if that's how you deal with it.
That's how I deal with what armor I want to keep. But the thing is, I got to a certain point where my discipline was so high because I had a bunch of them that had like really high discipline that that I have to start finding armor with either intellect or strength. I don't even know which one I want to choose.
I mean,
But that still has like
they're gonna
45 points in the top 3. Because I had like I did that the other day. I was doing it with some stuff and I was mixing and matching some of the gear I had. And because I used the discipline mod to make sure that things go into discipline and not in intellect or strength, because that's kind of useless for me. Well, I guess it's not useless, but I prefer to have a grenade up basically as much as I can. I had like 140 discipline, and I was still only at like 80, 170 for mobility and resilience and recovery. And I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't right. Can I take some of this and put it up here? No. That'd be awesome though.
Fine-tuning armor.
I gotta find, like, I hadn't really tried it before, you know. I would always just, you know, as long as I had 100 resilience, or back in the day when resilience was nothing, just as long as I had 100 mobility and decent recovery, I was happy. But and then for a long time it was just, you know, as long as I got decent mobility, decent recovery, and like 100 resilience, then I'm good. And then I've been sitting there with so much armor in my vault that I'm just like, I really need to pick a number between these 4 stats and get rid of anything that doesn't reach it. And so I started going over them and to see what I think was, you know, the average. And there was a certain point that I was getting rid of anything that was 57 and below. But I still have so much gear in my vault that I think I have to start with like 60 and start getting rid of that stuff. And then if I get a bunch of gear where I can, you know, almost get hundreds in like a lot of the slots, then I'll have to look at getting a few pieces of gear that's high in the top 3, and then switch to intellect or strength, I guess, if I'm running an arc titan or arc hunter. I don't know, because that helps a little bit, right?
Well, clear that armor out, because the new activity for these prismatic class items is going to be farmable. You can run it probably as many times as you want, and just keep pumping out exotics until you have what it is you want. If you're farming specific ones, just keep in mind that based off the potential combinations, your chances of getting exactly what you want is approximately 1.6% per run. Most people that have crunched the numbers suggest that if somebody who plays, you know, between 4 and 6 hours of Destiny a day, it'll take them about a week and a half to get the specific rolls that they want. Not treating RNG as a lottery ticket, its own chance every time. That's what the statistics basically say.
Here is a question though. Do we know that one drops at the end of every activity?
Yes, they say so in the twin.
Okay. I didn't.
You get one at the completion of the activity, and the activity is farmable.
Okay, all right. Because I was gonna say that dramatically decreases that 1.6%. If that were the case, but
I mean, it'd be a classic Bungie step on their own dick moment to be like, "Hey, here's where you get it. Here's all the cool combinations. Your chances are low to get what you want, and you can only do it once per week per character." Smile. But no.
They would do something like that. That's crazy.
But no, it says specifically in here, you get one every time, and it's farmable.
I'm excited to add some of these things together. Like I don't know. I used to love combination blow, but I hated wasting my exotic on Assassin's Scowl. So here we go. Now I can do something else and something else. It's going to be my...
No, I mean, just keep in mind that you're not getting the full benefits of the original exotic. You're only getting a portion of it.
I'm sure.
I'm
sure if I
you're
punch...
you're probably not getting the healing out of Spirit of the Assassin like you would Assassin's Cal.
That's a good call.
Like, right. Or
Is a big chunk of Assassin's Cal.
one that people have been bringing up a lot is Spirit of Ophidian, like everybody being able to have access to Ophidian aspects now. But it's only giving you ready speed. It's not giving you 100 handling or whatever the handling bonus was. So it's not going to affect, ADS speed or stow speed, only ready speed, right? So just keep in mind.
No, sorry.
Just keep in mind that none of these abilities are going to give you everything that the exotic does.
Well, like, I'm curious about, like, so for example, Spirit of the Star Eater, like, you know how it stacks 4 times. I'm wondering if they just allow it to stack twice or even just once. Like, you only get, like, 1 Feast of Light, or, like, rather than 4 Feast of Light stacks, you get, like, 2 maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be stuff like that in there. Like the Spirit of Syntheseps might be might not be like 300% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, there's one thing's for sure are the YouTubers that do like build videos and testing videos are going to have a lot of content figuring out what all this stuff actually does and making recommendations. But surely there are going to be some perks in here that look like they're good, but are ultimately going to be
because like
kind of bad.
Look at the Warlock. Like in theory, if everything was like the same way it was, like Spirit of the Apotheosis and Spirit of Verity combined, interesting combinations. Like, especially, yeah. But stuff like that,
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun to get our hands on it. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Stoked. All right, so that launches the second week of Final Shape. So that let's see what that date is. That is the 11th. All right, that launches on June 11th. Everyone, get ready to start grinding. All right, the next.
Imagine nobody clears worlds first. It's just too hard.
Just like, well, this is awkward, guys.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
The witness in the end has defeated the Guardians.
Your game just self-deletes off your platform.
Just uninstalls.
That would actually be pretty awesome. Yeah, self-deletes and then the server shut down. We've talked about this before. That happens, and then your game shuts off and restarts, and then it opens up, and instead of Destiny 2, it says Destiny 3.
Now available.
now available for $199.99 USD.
$199.99 USD. Is there a $69.99 version of this? Nope, it's just the elite version.
Yep.
Right.
What's it include?
Trying to move on to Oryx, but I distracted him. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say the next part is the Oryx stuff and the Pantheon. We already talked about it. He's an ex-krill. What's a krill?
That's what the species that Oryx was originally called before they were the Hive.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
When they lived on Fundament.
Whatever. I don't care. Stupid lore. Sorry, I just trolling.
All right, well, deep sight weapons. Free for everybody. Go get them.
Wait, hold on. What does this mean? Guardians rated Sigma -3 or lower are not advised. Are advised not to engage. What the fuck is Sigma 3? Do Guardians have ratings on how awesome they are?
Certainly.
I don't know. I haven't read the lore on that, to be honest.
Yeah, it says right here, Guardians rated Sigma 3 or lower are not advised, or are advised not to engage.
Yes, you have a strength rating. Yours is not over 9,000. Sorry, you're a Sigma. You're a Sigma.
Why did
Guardian.
I was like, then why did I engage him in the first place?
Yeah, why did I one-shot his bitch ass?
Probably because Reaper was with you.
That's probably true.
You know what?
The Reaper diff.
We were all doing 100k shots, like...
The Reaper diff.
Actually,
Reaper is above Sigma 3, it's okay.
Reaper actually disconnected on one of our runs, and we had to 5-man it, and we did it no problem. So, just to be clear, it's not all Reaper.
All right.
He's good at the game, but we're efficient.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What are you just gonna say? It was all static after that?
No.
Thunder?
Thunder's pretty good. So is Static. I'm sorry. Sorry,
What about
Static.
Shaco?
Yeah, Shaco's all right.
I forget to.
Hey, he just got it all right. That's crazy.
That's fucked up. Man.
That's
You're
messed up.
You're PSN lead Sherpa. He's
Hey,
all
listen,
right.
none of them. When I put a post out there saying, "Hey, I need somebody to come teach my bitch ass the final encounter of Val," in the Sherpa raid request, nobody responded.
Yeah, but
So
you know how to do that.
So-
What do you mean?
I don't know how to
will
do the
teach
last
you
encounter.
the last encounter wrecked.
I mean, I do know how to do the last encounter, like when I'm doing a specific role, but I don't know how it all fits together correctly. I've never really paid attention to.
Have you never done like the plate standing and the shooting? Is that
I
what you're talking
have,
about?
but only when somebody's been screaming at me to do what I need to do when I need to do it, not because I knew exactly what I was doing. I never bothered learning like the whole thing because since I switched to my computer monitors, the symbols that are far back are so small that I actually have trouble reading them myself. Like, so if I'm the person that's trying to call out symbols or whatever, it's difficult for me to identify them quickly. It takes me a minute, and you don't have a whole ton of time there. So because of that, I didn't ever want to hold up any raids, and I kind of shied away from getting involved to the mechanics to that degree. And I just did things where I could be told exactly what I needed to do and when. But I need to learn it now because Pantheon. So,
You don't need to learn it.
yeah, I do. I'm not gonna be.
Oh.
I am not going into a Pantheon being. I'm gonna do ad clear.
Why? It's
I'm
fun.
gonna do ad clear in Pantheon. No, that's not happening.
Are you getting a run from somebody else, Rick?
No,
Did you
nobody responded for like 3 days, so I just deleted the post. I was like, all right, fine. Nobody wants to teach me. I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
I will do it, Rick. I will do it.
I could teach you in 1 minute. I'm not going to.
I mean-
I'll let Wave do it. He's a Sherpa. I wouldn't do very good. I'd be like, when you got the thing, shoot the thing, get in the middle thing, get off the middle thing, let someone else get on the thing. That's me. That's me teaching you, Val, right there.
Sounds legit.
Surely you know everything else, though. The dunking and the symbols up top
Yeah.
with Rolk. Yeah. You
Yeah,
just don't
yeah,
know the siphon mechanic.
It's the siphon and shooting the crystals and who's got to shoot them when and who's got to stand on the plate and when they have to stand on the plate. You know, I know all like what the individual mechanics do, but not necessarily the sequence in which they're supposed to happen and how you identify when things are supposed to happen when you're in the middle of the encounter.
Yeah, like you're not like you
I
know
get
the
you.
mechanics, but you don't know how they mesh together.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. On that note, yes, all the deep sight weapons. Okay, hold on. All right, so we had 4 seasons this year. If you didn't know, okay, we've got every seasonal weapon has deep sight. Even some of the seasonal stuff. Well, I guess they're not. They might be included. I don't know. I was gonna say some of the seasonal stuff has even added revamped older weapons in there that are craftable. I wonder if you get those in this new system. Or if it's always a
yes.
seasonal weapon.
So the infographic displays. Actually, it doesn't display any of the
Either way, it doesn't matter.
undying weapons.
If you're missing some of them, just go ahead and if you do one of the seasonal activities each day, it'll unlock a red border guaranteed, right? Guaranteed red border.
Yes, it's on a
yeah.
punch out system. So
Yeah.
once
so
you
a guaranteed
once
red
you got
border.
one marked out, it'll be taken out of the pool.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, if you're missing anything, just go play the seasonal activity associated with that weapon, and you'll get a red border each day moving forward until final shape drops.
Hey,
There's some good
SGC,
weapons
this
in
is
there.
indeed SGC. This is a great opportunity to team up with your clanmates to just go do a quick activity every day. You only got to do one, and everybody's going to get a red border from it. I know there's lots of people out there on the server that don't have all their red borders unlocked and would like to do some crafting. This is a great time. Just go out there and LFG on the server and get it done. Most of these activities take 30 minutes or less.
And there's some pretty good weapons in there. Like, personally.
There's a couple, yeah. They're not bad.
Yeah. Scatter. I really like Scatter Signal.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
really like that weapon. Before Edge Transit, I was using Regnant a lot from Defiance.
I remember, yeah. We actually all tried to... We were all trying to get that grenade launcher before day one run. I remember.
Yeah.
The explosive light one.
Surprisingly, Until It's Returned, I heard is pretty good. The Strand shotgun from Season of the Deep. I have not used it, but I've heard it's got a pretty good use.
Semiotician is also good. The Strand rocket.
Eremite, I heard, is also a nice pickup.
Eremite was very good before Scatter Signal came out. It still is good if you've got a burn that matches it.
Yeah. I do prefer Cartesian over Eremite now. But Eremite is also just not a bad pick at all if you don't have a good Cartesian.
Yeah, agreed. So there's lots of good stuff out there. There's a bunch of good stuff for PvP too, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, just go do them. After this shit is done, like in the final shape drops, these weapons are only going to end up being available as like probably random world drops at some point. Like, this is the only time that you can focus on, like, getting these. You can get a guaranteed one every day. And the way it works anyways, if you just keep doing that activity, you're going to get multiple ones. You're going to get a bunch of engrams, and then you focus them into that. Like, you could probably, just go and get them. You can get them pretty quickly, pretty easily. And if you don't want to commit, a couple hours to it in a day, then just, do one a day until you have all the weapons from that season.
Someone told me this one time, and just like, this is just like how I've been with the patterns and like the blueprints from the season, like these past 4 seasons. It's like, you never know what random perk is going to get buffed, what random like frame is going to get buffed. Like, there's obviously some weapons that are just like no matter how good its perks are, like, it's probably never going to be good. But it's like, there's some weapons in there, like if its frame gets buffed, if like this one specific perk gets buffed, like, all of a sudden that weapon's best in its slot. Like, it's like you're going to be like struggling to get that one like red border pattern that you could have gotten.
Yep. This is why I spend every season, the very first thing I do is focus on getting all my red borders done and out of the way.
Like, subjunctive. Someone was like, okay, subjunctive kind of just became a different version of Aikilos, It's like
arguably better if you like 900s.
Yeah. It's a very nice weapon to have.
There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, next on the dock is next week, or Tuesday. We get the Outbreak Perfected 0-hour mission is returning on May 14th. It has a few surprises up its sleeve. I don't know what that means. I'm curious.
Means they probably changed the path a little bit, so people that have run this thing so many times back in the day can't just run it on muscle memory.
Good.
Fun fact: I've never ran 0-hour.
Well, there you go. You get to meet Trevor. Enjoy.
There were 2 parts of 0-hour that were difficult for people. Well, I mean, the jumping puzzle and then the Trevor puzzle, right? The jumping puzzle, unless they've changed it a ton, Strand and being able to shatter dive are going to probably trivialize that particular portion of it. Won't be a big deal for pretty much anybody. Trevor, on the other hand, if you haven't done 0-hour before, be prepared. The first time you encounter Trevor It's like that the very first time you watch Jaws and the music comes on for the shark being somewhere around. Dun dun dun, because you can hear Trevor. You can hear Trevor in the background somewhere. You have no idea where he's coming from or what's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden you're fucking dead. So,
I'm trying to remember. Is 0 Hour the one where you're jumping along the outside of the like dam wall thing?
yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, you're outside the tower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And the things drop.
Yep.
So okay. All right. Yeah. I couldn't remember which one it was. I was like, is that Hawkman? But no. All right. I remember it now. Yeah, that jumping puzzle is harder than Whispers.
Yeah, a lot harder.
Mm.
But it won't be as hard with Strand available. Being able
No,
to swing
it
around
won't.
and make it a whole lot easier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Back in the day, it was like boop, and then you're like, oh no, and that's it.
Imagine-
now you're just gonna be like, oh, Strand.
Imagine the power creep on a jumping puzzle.
Yeah, fucking.
Fucking-
All right. I'm excited for that. Obviously, I'm not gonna go too crazy on it. I've only done Whisper like I don't know, like three or four times. But I'll probably do this the same amount. Get my new Outbreak perfected. Get the catalyst or whatever, and then move along from there. But it'll be nice to see Trevor again. And if they do actually have any secrets or surprises up their sleeve, it'll be fun. I can't wait. It'll be awesome. We were talking about having a death wall in the middle at one point. Where you can jump across to get away from him? Just put a death wall there. So when you jump, you die. What are your thoughts?
Section is not available anymore. It
Sorry.
won't be there.
Say what?
I've heard a rumor that section is actually not going to be in the mission anymore. It won't even be an option. There will be walls there that stop you from going through the middle.
Ah. Well, there you go. I heard a rumor. You mean on like the leak site?
No, maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Actually, leaks might not be that big of a deal anymore. They introduced some new encryption that stops some leaks from happening already for Pantheon.
It was never a big deal for me. I'm not in like I don't look at our leak channels and my algorithm does not show me Destiny leaks at all. So I never get spoiled on anything. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Now people will just send me shit. Fuck you, internet. Burn in hell. Alright, let's keep moving.
Yeah. 3 new PvP
Three
maps.
new PvP maps. Now, I've only been able to play 2 of said PvP maps. They seem absolutely fine to me. I'm no PvP or Crucible connoisseur, so to me, they're just new maps. It's nice that they're in the game. I haven't gotten a third one yet. It's really annoying. I've done the Europa one and the one with like the hole in the middle of the floor. What the fuck? Where's that
The one on the pyramid ship or the one on Neomuna?
Neomuna, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
It's all nice. There's the gap in the middle, ramps down the sides, and then of course the Europa one, which I remember liking the skybox and stuff when they were showing it. And ironically, now that I'm sitting here talking about it and playing it, I never even looked up once, so I don't think it's that important. Anyway, I played both. I played both of those, and like I said, not a connoisseur, so I never tell anybody like, "Oh man, that map is so good." No, I don't fucking know. But it's nice. They're tight. They're small. The one on Europa, lots of little tunnels and corners and holes for people to pop out of. So that was an interesting little thing. It's not always, oh, look at my radar, I know that guy's right there. He could be coming out of 3 different holes. So it was a little bit of I thought that was kind of neat, very interesting. And the one on Neomuna is just it's a small map. That's good, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Seemed fine. How about did you play a bunch of them? Did you get the pyramid ship one?
I've watched some gameplay of people on them. I haven't actually played PvP this week because I've been busy doing Pantheon and finishing my Onslaught grind, which is done, by the way. I am free from Onslaught. I have my PvP and PvE god rolls of every single Brave Arsenal weapon. So I'm done.
You're a madman.
Not sure what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go for that Cascade Point bait and switch shiny for Edge Transit. The one that envious Cascade Point and bait and switch. That's kind of like the last thing I need.
I did
Well, don't need one.
I had a bounty on when I was doing Pantheon, the one where you do the raid stuff for the brave bounty. And when I popped it, I got an envious bait and switch, and I was like, it was not a shiny with Cascade, but I was still pretty happy with it. I was like, oh, nice, that was easy.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
chilling.
absolutely like content with the bait and switch envious I have, but it's like could get more, you know.
I'm not the type of person that would switch in the middle of a fight, so I don't need that. And maybe that's why I don't get day ones done very often, but because I'm not that person. But maybe I should start being that person.
Well, it's something like I personally like Reaper kind of like went through a whole spiel with me about how useful it is, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try, and like it's been something I've been just working on and doing. And
The last roll I wanted was a bait and switch envious, with the rest of the roll. I wanted the god roll of that for Edge Transit, even though it's not my favorite. I actually really like the current interaction that Deconstruct has with envious. Man, going into a boss encounter with like 18 rounds in your magazine, and then because of your hits getting 9 more rounds just for free out of thin air into the magazine because of that, and having a 27 round heavy GL magazine. So good. Mwah, chef's kiss. I hope they never fix it. I hope it's not a bug. I hope it's working as intended, because it's so good.
That's crazy.
I like it. Love it so much. It's so good. But if they do fix it, I did get a volatile mini frags envious bait and switch last Radius Masterwork last night with my last 10 tokens. It was the last thing I was hunting for, so now I'm done.
All right.
Although I will be doing more Onslaught immediately after this. I'm helping people get their emblem for the 50 wave legend.
Ooh, you should do that for me sometime. I'm lazy.
Void Hunter.
I haven't even tried it.
That's it.
That's literally it.
Wave has got it.
Yeah.
Times 3, and you're good to go for most maps.
I guess you would be, right? You just keep dropping that orbs for days.
I've seen people like one of the things that like just run that and then like have somebody with like a WoW and Phoenix protocol, and you're styling.
That sounds like old school GM strats.
Pretty much.
One run, I dropped just under 800 rounds, or 800 orbs for the whole thing.
Yeah,
That's a lot of orbs.
On my Tether Hunter. It was crazy.
All right.
It's pretty freaking stupid.
Cool. All right. Well,
You can
I should do that sometime.
Some odd of like between the wells and the tethers, you get like somewhere between like 2 wells around and like 2 tethers around per person. It's kind of stupid.
Even with just half the spawn, if you have your build set up right, like I can do one of the 2 spawn points every round, and I'll get my tether back twice if I'm close into them with my build.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's keep going. Yeah, okay, so new maps in Crucible. If you haven't played them, go check them out. They didn't do trials this week in lieu of just keeping new territory open. If you don't like Crucible, you hate it, but you love emblems, just go play one match in new territory, you get an emblem. It's awesome. Pew pew. That's it. All right, next is everything's available for everybody for free. No, it's not quite like that, but Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, Witch Queen, all available for PC and Xbox users for free. If you're a PlayStation user and you have PS Plus, you get Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall all for free. So get in there and enjoy it.
Also,
The year 6
Season of Defiance, Season of the Deep, Season of the Witch, Season of the Wish.
Yeah, I would have got there. But all year 6 seasons are completely free for anybody, no matter what. So if you want to get in there and do the story missions, lead yourself up to Lightfall, feel free. Go in there, drop them now. If you're not interested in that, well, whatever, do it anyway. Get the red borders for all of the weapons that dropped all year long.
Please get your Witch Queen for free and go get your Parasite if you do nothing else. Please.
Honestly, get your Parasite, get your Lament, and then you're good. Like I'm happy.
Yeah.
Parasite at the very least.
You need that to do good Pantheon clears for Aatrax, everyone, if you're curious.
It is such a good weapon for mini raid bosses. So just go get it.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. All right. So there's a big list of all the stuff it includes here. I'm not going over all that shit. That's so stupid. So once the final shape is live, they are going to be creating a new Legacy collection for 2024 that includes all of the DLC, which is nice because I think it's the first time that every piece of DLC, other than the final shape, of course, will be bundled together. Because they've had other packs before, but it always just didn't include something like the 30th anniversary or whatever. But this is this is going to be a full-on Legacy pack. I don't know how much it's going to cost or whatever, but I can't imagine they sell it for more than like $40, right? Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was gonna say, this is Bungie we're talking about here.
Yeah. But you'll
It'll
get
be
forced.
nice if people don't have to go through the confusing list to figure out which pack has fucking redundancies over shit that they already own or that they're gonna buy. So
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, this one will come with everything. Like I said, Destiny, Lightfall, Witch Queen, 30th anniversary, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, and Forsaken, and then obviously.
Does it come with dungeon keys?
No.
Lame.
Do you want to know if the dungeon? Well, if the dungeons are shit. I don't got the answer for you, dog. I don't know if the dungeons are included in those. I would assume that they wouldn't fucking be that dumb, but you never know with Bungie.
Yeah.
Them Bungie.
John Bungie.
Yeah. I don't know what the gauntlet is, but it returns. Oh, it's a charity tabletop tournament. You can get an emblem if you donate to it. Just go check the tweet out for that. I'm not going to get too much into it. We do our own charity drives. Good luck, though. HPI Heritage Month. What is it? Oh, Asian Heritage. Okay, all right. Yeah, Asian American and Native
Pacific
Hawaiian
Islander.
Pacific Islander. Okay.
Yeah.
Heritage Month. Donate $7 in the month of May. You get an emblem. Do it. And it looks like you can buy a pin there too. I stand with Asians. Okay. That's it. That's the twit for us. There's a picture of a cat. Maybe I should bring it up.
Whatever. The only picture that matters of an animal in here is the one of Archie with a bowl of ramen on his head.
Dude, who dares spill ramen on Archie?
All right, we'll look at that one first. Okay, here we go. So we'll do full screen. Oh, my stupid name is in the way. Ugh. All right, there you go. There's Archie with a bowl of ramen on his head. That shit's gonna short circuit him.
I'm sure he's waterproof.
Why? Sure. And there was a random picture of a cat in the tweet too. Right there.
I want to know who's writing these twids. It can't be Cosmo, right? And if it is Cosmo, he's moving to the Marathon team. He's leaving the Destiny team and going to Marathon. So who's going to be writing this stuff now, and who can we blame for no animal pictures?
There's a whole team of people writing this shit. Like, it's not any individual person.
What do you mean there's a whole team? They fired everybody.
No, they didn't. They fired like 3 people that were super vocal about shit. There's a whole other team of people that you don't even know exists that works there still.
You know what? Fuck those people, because no animal pictures half the time, or 75% of the time.
Yeah, and this cat picture sucks. Whoever's cat this is, you suck, by the way.
That guy just Googled. Whoever wrote this just
Googled.
Googled
This is just a Google picture of a cat. That ain't nobody's specific cat. This is in a magazine somewhere for some shit. I don't know. Ain't no way. Look at the depth of
John
field.
Bungie, do better.
All right. Anyway, yeah, that's funny. I would say there's still a whole community team that contributes to these things. It's not just, well, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I'm not going to assume. There is that bit of news, though, that you just mentioned. Yeah, Cosmo just said on Twitter today he's moving to the marathon team. So, as far as I know, he was the head of community relations at Bungie. So we're gonna be getting somebody new. I don't know. I didn't mean you. Sorry. You guys hear my cat meowing at me?
Mm-hmm. Your cat is offended.
I wasn't talking about you. It was some other dumb cat. Don't worry about it. Get out.
Other dumb cat.
Yeah, so he's moving a marathon. Somebody else gonna obviously take his position. Maybe I don't know about how the hierarchy works in Destiny, but as far as I know, he was the head of the department, right? Maybe.
I believe so.
Yeah. So we're gonna get someone else, but they don't really talk directly to the community anymore. Like Cosmo doesn't come out and talk to anybody. Like he's not talking about the stuff, you know. Like from his
That's
Twitter.
because we're all a bunch of miserable cunts in the community and we're no fun to talk to.
Are. We're terrible people, 100%. Anyway, so that'll be interesting when the time comes to see who we get and what kind of their community relation changes when it comes to them. There was something else that happened. I can't remember what it was. Any other Destiny news? Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're done talking about Destiny then, right? Cool. Was there any gaming news that was fun this year?
That was fun this week.
Yeah.
Xbox and Microsoft like shutting down all the good studios.
Yeah.
Oh.
What the shit? Okay, first off, you know, yeah, we're gonna shift away from Destiny for like the last 10 minutes, guys. All right, if you don't like that, you guys will be get over it. But listen, so they shut down Arcane Austin, which admittedly shit the bed with Redfall. What a disaster of a game. People will argue it's good. Maybe it got better, but it was not good when it launched. If anybody tries to say that game was good when it launched, you are delusional. It was terrible.
I don't think that had anything to do with their shutdown.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I don't like to speculate, but
I do.
I'm sure it can't help that the game they spent 3 years making was a complete failure, an utter failure, and garbage. Now, the game they released before that was awesome, but it didn't sell well, which was Prey, the Prey remake. If you ever played it, great game. Yeah. It's good.
I heard about that game, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot of fun. It looks good. It was very enjoyable. It wasn't like a big banger seller-wise, but like it was reviewed well, and I played the game, and I remember it being really good. And I think the consensus on the internet is that it was a good game. So anyway, they're gone. They're gone. Completely shut down. And then, of course, they shut down the studio that just did Hi-Fi Rush. I can't remember the name. You know the name, Rick?
Starts with a T. What the fuck?
Tango Gameworks. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So they shut that down. Now that's the one that really, really gets to me. So they're talking about all this shit. They've been preaching to give their developers their creativity to create these awesome, creative, unique games. Last year, Hi-Fi Rush comes out, one of the highest rated games of the year, one of the most creative games of the year, launches on Game Pass. Nobody's gonna fucking buy it. It's on Game Pass, right? Surely maybe some people buy it on PC, but I don't know what you're expecting sales-wise. They drop it on PlayStation like a year and a half later, like last month. Probably didn't sell crazy good because there's no fucking marketing, first of all. One thing that Xbox is terrible at. God, get a marketing team, Xbox. Seriously. Like, nobody's going to buy your shit if they don't know what's coming out. Did you know Hellblade is out in a week and a half? No, nobody does. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, sorry. You do now. Thank you, you're welcome, Microsoft, for letting people know your game is coming out. Anyway, and then they shut this game down. Or they shut the studio down. They just completely shut it down. And that's not the only games they made. I can't think right off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they got some...
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire
and
Tokyo.
Evil Within.
Okay. Evil Within, both those games are bangers. Ghostwire Tokyo, never played it. But I don't think it was particularly received incredibly well. Like 7s across the board. And I don't know how well it sold, but I can't imagine it sold that great. And it's free on PlayStation Plus. It was probably free on Game Pass. Like, it was free everywhere. Like,
Well, so here's the problem. All right, Game Pass is not selling. They're not increasing the number of people on Game Pass, and that's Xbox's entire model. I don't think these studios would have gotten shut down if they hadn't just purchased Activision for $70 billion and now need to make up that money. Microsoft probably treated Xbox as basically a rounding error in its budgets every year anyway, until they came along and said, we're going to spend $70 billion to buy Activision. And now Microsoft's like, you got to make that money back. We need that money back. And so now, because Game Pass isn't selling, they've got themselves in this weird hole, and they're shuttering people because they don't have a choice. It's the easiest way for them to save money. I don't think it has anything to do with the quality.
But why
of the games.
Tango Gameworks? Like,
I think it was just easier for them. It was because it's a small.
It is a
studio.
small
It's
team.
Easy,
That's
it's
fair.
easy for them to shutter them, right?
But what? Yeah, I get it. I guess I get it in that route. But why stress so much how important indie developers and unique games are to have the biggest indie banger of the year and then shut down the fucking studio? That's just going to alienate all of your fans, all the people that actually believed the words that you were saying, that you got on their good graces. The only thing Microsoft's been living off for the last few years is the good graces of their hardcore fans. Now
money more important.
Yeah, but now you got people. These people are mad. I've seen some of the biggest Xbox on Twitter like completely just do a fucking total rotator flip on Xbox. They've put up PlayStation banners on their Twitter profiles. They've refused to completely play. They're selling their Xboxes. Like, they're completely going wild over this shit. Like, and these are the lunatics that just say the dumbest shit ever for years and years and years about why, Xbox is better, or look how bad Aloy looks, or all this dumb shit, to just bolster their favorite. And
what's really going to get them spinning is when Xbox refuses to put the next Call of Duty on Game Pass. It's going to be retail only, and people are going to lose their fucking minds. Bet. Because they're not going to be able to do it. Everything they put into Game Pass, with Game Pass being stagnant sales, is just a fucking loss leader at this point. There's a AAA game that's likely to sell a lot of copies. It makes no sense to put that in Game Pass right now.
Oh, it does.
Because it's not moving. They're not getting more subscriptions. So, but by not putting it in there, they're going to alienate a shit ton of their existing subscribers.
I had Game Pass for 2 years. I bought an Xbox Series S, the first Xbox I ever owned, at the beginning of this generation because of Game Pass. I bought it, and then I basically played nothing for 2 years because, I mean, I don't know, other than time, the games on there weren't that good. Plain and simple. Like, I played for Forza Horizon, I played Halo Infinite, the big drops, obviously, that came through. Enjoyed them. And then when the Call of Duty dropped last year, I don't pay enough attention to the news. And I'm like, hey, I'll try the new Call of Duty or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't come out on Game Pass. I was like, okay, this shit is not worth the fucking garbage it's thrown in. I canceled my Game Pass subscription, and I haven't booted my Xbox up since. It's been almost a year. I have no desire nor need to play it. There's nothing on there that I can't get on PC or PlayStation. It's just, I don't know. And I'm gonna play Hellblade. It's good. I'm gonna play it on PC. I'll pay for it. I don't care, but I'm not booting up that Xbox again. I don't know. And them shutting down these studios really pissed me off. Not to the point where I'm not going to play Hellblade, because then the same thing will happen in Ninja Theory. So, like, I really like the first one, so I'm going to play the second one, obviously. But hopefully it's better. We'll see. I don't know. I hate when people shut that shit down. Like, and that too. I've got a big problem with how they just went from, like, being the best friend of these, like, indie AAA quirky games to just, like, I think, you know, if Hi-Fi Rush wasn't so good and they were saying that these are the types of games they want made and then fucking shut down the studio, like, it wouldn't have bothered me as much. But because they're just completely, like, bullface lying to us about what's important to them, and then once the money drops, they're just like, oh, never mind, we didn't mean that. Goodbye. See you later.
It is important to them until they need to make up $70 billion. Then it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh man, that was so frustrating. Anyway, I spent a lot of time on that, but it's annoying. I find this annoying. I know shutting down studios is kind of like a thing you gotta do sometimes, but I don't think Tango deserved that. I can make a case for the disaster fire that was Arcane with Redfall, but they probably lost a lot of money there, I would suspect. But not Tango. No. That was a dumb decision. Dumb decision.
Agreed. That's the only big gaming news I've run into recently. So.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that's really going on. That's not stupid.
I followed the Helldivers stuff a little bit.
We talked about that a little last week. I've actually come around a little bit more on that. Where last week I was like, stop complaining, you fucking goobers. But now I'm just like, you know, you can complain if you want to. I get it. But I'm still going to play the game. So that's the point where I've moved to. It's like, you're not goobers anymore, but also I'm still going to play. Now, PlayStation obviously walked back what they did. I don't think they had done that by Friday last week. So we were talking about before that. So I was actually honestly surprised that they did it. Sony's not typically a consumer listening company. They just kind of do whatever they want. Just because Eastern world, Western world, they don't really match too well sometimes. And but they walked it back. They're like, okay, never mind, my bad. And then a lot of people were just like, oh yeah, okay, all right. But they still haven't restored purchasing abilities in the 107 countries that they pulled the purchasing from.
Mm-hmm. And they've removed some more games from those markets since. Like they pulled Sekiro out of them, or not Sekiro.
Yeah, hold on. They didn't pull them out of those markets. Let's be clear. I'll get to that in a second. But what was I saying? Fuck, I can't remember. I don't know. Oh yeah, some people are still really mad at Sony because they haven't restored it. That's also something that I don't really care too much of. Like, I think that sucks, but like, all they haven't restored is the ability to purchase it in that country. All the people that purchase it can still play it. Like, who cares? Like, let Sony sell their shit where they want to sell it. Like, once they restore it, fine, that's good. But like, this shouldn't be a big conversation about that right now. If they wanna put it there, they can. If they don't, if they want to drop all their games not in those countries, that's their prerogative. It's got nothing to do with you. But now you're talking about Ghost of Tsushima. So for example, you said they weren't launching it, and that's not true. They're still selling them in all those countries. The multiplayer is not going to be available in those countries. The multiplayer is 10% of Ghost of Tsushima. It's a very small thing that was released after the original game initially as just an add-on, a DLC add-on. It's called Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Now, obviously, if I was in one of those countries, I would want to know that in advance, so they have to make that very clear. Very clear to the people purchasing that the multiplayer will not be available to them if they don't, well, they can't sign up for PSN. What you may have saw is Green Man Gaming started to give out full refunds to people that already purchased the game.
Yes, that's what I saw.
From there, on their own prerogative. They decided because
Okay.
the multiplayer is not available that they're going to refund all the pre-orders for Ghost of Tsushima in those countries. So that was their own thing. That was totally their decision. Up to them. Fine. If that's the case and you still want to go play the game, then go buy it. Go buy it from another supplier that's still selling it. Like Steam, for example. They're still selling it from those countries as far as I know. You just won't be able to access the multiplayer version of the game, which is a 4-player co-op mode. That's, I mean, I don't know. I played like 3 matches of it, and then I shut it off. So
I've never played the game, so I can't really say much. I've only seen clips of it.
I do think that the multiplayer not being available in certain countries sucks. And the reason it's not available in certain countries is because they are making PSN mandatory for the multiplayer version of that. PSN's not available in those countries. So the situation does suck. But I just wanted to clarify, how it's running. Because it's not that they just stopped selling in other countries. It's just multiplayer's not available in those countries. So some people might be mad about that. It's like, oh, I bought this game, I want the multiplayer. It's like, well, as long as it's clearly stated, you cannot play multiplayer if you're in one of these countries because you need a PSN account, then I don't see...
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't see
As long
there
as
being...
you know about it ahead of time, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, if you decide not to buy the game, fine, whatever, that's your shit. If you decide to buy it, just know you don't have access to this bit.
It do suck if you're in one of those regions and you wanted that, but it's not PlayStation's problem, I don't think.
Let's be clear though to everybody that wants to play Ghost of Tsushima. Like Ghost of Tsushima is single player. If you like single player game, open world games, chef's kiss. Great game, amazing. Imagine Assassin's Creed but good. Like that's what Ghost of Tsushima is for real, legit. And that's what people are going to be buying this game for. It's not Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Like maybe a couple people but it's not going to be many. And in those specific... The 1% in those countries probably amounts to, 100 people. So, it's whatever. Sign up on a VPN, dog. I don't care. I think you can actually sign up and put United States on there without even being on a VPN. So, you can just lie about the country you live in. Not 100% sure how it works. Don't quote me on that. If you really wanted to play it.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I know you got out here in a minute. So why don't we wrap up? If there's any plugs you want to talk about, and
all right. If you're playing Pantheon, we have roles for you on the server. If you can get a clear of Pantheon at any difficulty, there is a role associated with that clear. All you need to do is claim it. There's a Pantheon role request channel. Go into that channel and post your clear, and eventually, I will come around and give you your role, or maybe Geico will. I've been kind of dragging my feet on it this week, but I will get everybody caught up this weekend. Additionally, after you've gotten your clear at any particular difficulty, if you go back in and help a completely new group of SGC folks, at least one of those people get their first clear of that activity, then you can also earn the Get in My Backpack role. So if you're into Discord roles, go do the thing and then claim your roles. That's all I got for now.
All right. You got anything to plug, Dave?
Not really.
Okay.
Did Duo Crota? Did Duo Works? That was cool.
Is there a video?
Nice.
You like a YouTube that you posted on?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah. I didn't make a YouTube video of it. It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. Reaper just being in a chat, Reaper being bored. Things.
Right on. No, that's really cool though. Pretty awesome. Yeah. All right, well, I'll take over. So, yeah, Thank you so much for coming and watching this week at Shrouded episode 60. We're a big Destiny community. We love talking about Destiny. We love playing Destiny. If you stumbled on this podcast and you like all those things as well, and you want to be part of the best, awesome online Destiny community in the world, maybe. All right. Anyway, join Shrouded Gaming. You can hit our Discord at shroudedgaming.com/discord. Yeah, follow all of our stuff, YouTube, Twitch, it's all Shrouded Gaming everywhere, so go check it out. If you don't want to join our Discord, then well, maybe I'll see you on here next week. That's it for me. Oh, sorry.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
That's my plug.
Yeah, join the Discord. Come play Destiny with us. We're all really cool. We've got about 25 different clans. I guess I should have talked more about that. 25 different clans, all different platforms and time zones. Platform's not super important, but we still kind of group people together if you want to. But time zones are a big one. We've got European clans. We've got North American clans all over the place. We've even got some people from Down Under. That's us, Shrouded Gaming. Once again, shroudedgaming.com/discord to get you right in. Easy peasy, and link will be below as well. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching episode 61 of This Week at Shrouded. I was your host, AGreener. A big shout out to Mr. Wrecked and Dave for being on the show today. And we're out.
Bye.
Bye.